Okay, so we are live. Hello, everyone. Nice to
Ooh,
see all of you in the comments. As you can tell, I am joined by the amazing, and of course, I freeze this right at that point. Yeah, Bernie, it froze. It froze right at that point. So one more time, we can try and make it. Well, the suspense is gone, isn't it? But and it's the amazing Bernie,
freezing, Bernie.
Bernie.
Hi! I'm sorry. Hi, this is Bernie, and you're not watching Being My Life.
This is true. This is true. We're on Charlie no Seikatsu, but Bernie has graciously decided, well, agreed rather, to join us um, to talk about some fun things that hopefully be interesting for you guys. Um, Bernie, you've been on before,
hmm
but just in case people in the comments don't know about you, can you give us like an overview of your channel or like give us some vitals?
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Bernie, and my channel is Being My Life. I am a Singaporean who is currently studying in Japan. So I do a lot of videos about life in Japan, weird food I find, the weird adventures I get up to, and because I also really like Japanese music, I try and do a lot of videos about the bands that I like or the events that I go to, and hopefully share, some new music that all of you can check out. So yeah, if you're looking for a channel that, has like silly things about food, random stuff, and just me being a derp all the time, yeah, check out my channel.
A derp. Well said.
Yes.
Well said.
I give
So
away too much.
Bernie, how long have you been in Japan, and how long have you been vlogging for?
So I have been vlogging since, I guess, late November 2014, so very recent. And I have been in Japan for just about almost 3 years now. So that's quite a long time.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty good haul for sure.
Hmm.
And I guess the last introductory question I will ask you is, what what are your plans going forward? Like once you get back to Japan, like are there things you want to do on your channel, like types of videos you want to make,
Mhm.
or keeping on with your classic stuff?
Of course, I'll probably keep some of the classics there, the same old silly stuff that I'm doing now. But I'm hoping to really get like a proper,
Okay, well, this seems like a good time to point out that Bernie's computer is like a evil AI who will periodically freeze her out of actually speaking.
I know, and it always supposedly freezes me at the worst possible time. But yes,
Yeah.
I want like a proper, music type of series going on where I do like proper episodes,
Ultron strikes again.
introducing I'm sorry, introducing bands and music and what the system of like going to concerts and stuff in Japan is like. And when I go back to Japan, I'm planning to do a little bit of traveling. So I guess just more travel logs and me doing silly stuff in different parts of Japan.
Gotcha. Awesome. Okay. Actually, we have a question for you. I don't know if you can see it
hmm
in the comments from Travis. Um,
Okay. Currently, I write mainly for two websites. That is a local Singapore website, cutepop.com, and I also write for Gaijin. And how I got started in Q-pop, it was kind of because I was just looking for somewhere to write about, Japanese pop culture, and I just came across it. And they're always looking for writers, so I contacted the dude who owns the website. He's really nice, and he told me, yeah, sure, welcome aboard. Then I just started writing for them. And then Gaijin Pod, it actually started really weird because they had this article about what it's like to be a foreign girl in Japan, and I read it and I was like, hey, these experiences are really different from my experience because I'm Asian. So I commented that being an Asian foreigner in Japan is actually really different from lots of the articles online. And then I was contacted by Anthony from Gaijin Pod, and he was like, hey, why don't you write an article for us? So I started with writing a guest post for them, And then when I had like another idea for another article, I emailed him again, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you just join us as a writer?" And that's how it started. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, that's really interesting stuff because I think a lot of the it's weird. A lot of the J-vloggers actually are either writers or artists of some kind in addition to making videos, right?
Yeah, that's very true. Like a lot of them have like a lot of like blogs, and of course like one notable one is obviously Grace, Texan in Tokyo.
Yeah, right.
She has a really great blog, and she draws like this cutest comics. I just spent like the past like I think last night I was reading her books, and they're so adorable.
Yeah, I took advantage of her free download thing, and I think I'm gonna buy the paperbacks here in the next couple weeks, just 'cause yeah, it seems like you should, right?
Yeah, I'm waiting for there to be a like slightly less expensive shipping option before buying the paperbacks. But yeah, so yes, please go and check those out too. They're awesome.
They're fantastic. Plug, 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 plug.
Yeah.
But
Awesome things must be shared.
also, I don't know if you saw, but apparently to fix your computer, you need to feed the porn demon or the computer demon European porn.
What? Why European porn?
I don't know why it's like region specific porn. Maybe it just has a fetish.
Okay, well my computer is from Sony, so maybe it has like it prefers Western porn more than like say Japanese or Asian.
Mm.
I don't know.
Well, somebody will figure that out in the comments, I'm sure.
Someone will figure it out.
Yes. But right guys, so I tweeted like a while ago that what I want to start doing on these streams is actually doing it more of like a maybe like a late night show, and a lot of those things aren't really ready yet, mostly because I just forgot that I wanted to do that until a couple hours ago. But I really liked, I should say, the Late Late Show with Craig Kilborn. Not Craig Kilborn. Craig Ferguson. Yeah. Anyway, Craig Ferguson. And one of the things I thought he did really well was ask like these you would have like really ridiculous games and have like lightning rounds for questions and things like that. So that's actually what I want to do with Bernie. Bernie will be our inaugural lightning round guest. So I have 5 questions prepared here. Some of them stolen from other media, undoubtedly. And yeah, so we'll start Bernie off. And Bernie, we just want to. The idea, of course, is just to get the answers as quickly as we can.
Okay.
Still being good answers. So, all right, let's see. Got our music going here. Okay. All right, Bernie. Are you ready? Ah, that's kind of loud. It's kind of loud. Right. Okay. So, Bernie,
Okay.
first question: what is your favorite curse word, and why is it your favorite?
Fuck my life. Actually, my channel name actually started from FML because I love saying FML, and that's why Be My Life, because I actually fuck my life. So yeah.
Ah, okay. I see. Good. Okay, good. Excellent. What things do you hate?
I hate the sound of styrofoam. It's horrible. And I hate people interrupting me when I'm in the middle of something, especially when I'm reading or watching videos. I get so angry.
Fair enough. Anything else you would like to add in there, but before we move on?
People calling me weird nicknames and they're not close to me. If you're close to me, you can pretty much call me anything you want because I won't get angry at you, but if you're not, I will hate you.
Right, yeah, there's like a personal bubble
Yes.
being violated there,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
All right, moving on. Who's the best looking YouTuber and or celebrity?
In the J-vlogging community, I actually think PDR is pretty damn fine. And in celebrity-wise, I really, really, really like Matsumoto Jun.
Okay, excellent. Good response. Yeah, PDR is a handsome mofo for sure. All right, what awful food, as in like junk food or like guilty pleasure type thing? Like what do you love that maybe you shouldn't love?
Either potato chips or fries, and then I dunk a lot of like weird stuff on it. Like I dunk a whole pile of salsa or mayonnaise or like chili sauce or Tabasco, every weird stuff on it, and then eat it.
So it's probably really, really delicious, but makes you feel not maybe that great. No, Bernie, no.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. So we got to the end of that one. Last one is, what's your musical guilty pleasure?
Of course, it has to be late 90s, early 2000s music, the boy bands, so Backstreet Boys, Westlife, A1, NSYNC, and then also I really, really, really liked Clay Aiken. So the first CD I ever got was his Measure of a Man album, and I would sing that CD the entire day for days and days and days and days and days on end. And of course, Britney Spears, yes.
All right. Well done. I think we can end it there. We can shut off our William Tell overture there. Okay. So
Yeah.
thank you for playing along with my ridiculousness. I
It's
gotta say,
fun.
the Clay Aiken took me by surprise.
Clay Aiken is so awesome. I love his songs. Really, just way too much.
So, not to completely go off topic, but remember how we figured that something would happen with the question about why your computer likes certain kind of porn?
Mhm.
Well, it's devolved. There's talk of German porn now in the comments, of course.
What?
And Jake Knowlton, by the way, Jake, good to see you. Thanks again for doing that really awesome shout out video for me. Very cool. We're now at 200 subscribers, by the way, officially,
Yeah.
which is awesome. It's really really
Yeah,
exciting. But yeah,
Charlie.
woo woo.
Woo.
But yeah, Jake says that he is in fact the best looking YouTuber.
I remember when I first watched YouTube, I would watch who are they again? Ryan Niga Higa, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Kev Jumba, and I thought Kev Jumba was pretty damn cute too.
Mm, that's also fair enough. Good choices, I'll say. They're handsome gents.
They are.
It's true. And then we got some people giving us feedback for their guilty pleasures. Baby Metal, of course,
Baby
is making an
Metal.
appearance. Baby Metal, man.
Wait, I knew Baby Metal will make it in somewhere.
Yeah.
Why?
Actually,
Why?
Bernie, no.
Oh no,
Okay.
I froze when I asked that. Oops.
Yeah. What were you asking?
No, because I was looking at the comments, and why are people asking me if I watch Asian porn?
Wait, is this a thing that's happening?
Yeah, Sean asked me, and then Travis was saying some. No, Dude was saying something about asking me that. Huh.
Yeah, this is where the comments start to go down the rabbit hole. Hello, Schnozberries, aka I think Schnozberries
Yo,
is Shannon.
Shannon.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Cool. Hi, Shannon. Thanks for joining the insanity. Apparently, Jake is having some indigestion. Thanks to Nato.
Yeah.
Good to know,
I
Jake.
don't want to know what natto farts smell like because
Okay, well, important question. Can they smell worse than actual natto?
possibly.
Mmm.
Natto smells pretty nasty by itself already.
Yeah. Right. Well, moving on from porn and farts and baby metal, because I mean I think they're probably all on the same level. Yeah, I think the first thing I want to talk about tonight, and I wasn't really sure how to phrase it, is this idea of like Gaijin community, or how you interact with other Gaijins here in, well, obviously in Japan because Gaijin,
Mhm.
but and why I was wondering about this, I've been seeing like a lot of the videos recently, or blog posts or whatever, that talk about people who have these interaction with other Gaijin. Gaijin are just really big dicks to them, right? Like their interaction is basically like they're like brand new to the country, and the foreigners like, you're here and you're gonna take a bunch of ramen photos, and you're gonna do da 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 da, right? Or
Mhm.
they want nothing to do with them, or whatever the case may be. And it's actually extremely like contrary to my experience.
Mm.
Maybe because most of the foreigners I've met on this trip have been YouTubers, and maybe we're just naturally a nicer bunch. I don't know. But yeah, I'd be interested. I mean, you've been here a
Mm.
lot longer than I have, so I guess I'd be interested to hear like what your take is on that.
And usually people list like foreigners that come to Japan in probably maybe like three types of groups. So, for example, the first group is, the super crazy about Japan people. So they love everything about Japan and find everything amazing, and they're super biased on, like, what Japan is like, and will not say any bad things about Japan.
Right.
And then, like, the second group is, I feel like the people who take advantage of, like, superstar status in Japan. Like, because foreigners tend to get a lot of attention and are
Right.
sometimes treated quite well. So they take advantage of them, and they can kind of really be really mean people. And then the third group, I guess, is the slightly more normal people who try and, find a balance between everything.
Right.
I guess, yeah. Then I guess the bad thing is that you kind of meet a lot of the, like, superstar, like, getting to their head type people a lot. But for me, I mean, I've met all types, and really, I mean, I find that knowing foreign friends or knowing people from the same country that you are in Japan really, really, really helps a lot.
Yeah.
Because they have, like, the same mindset that you do. Like, when I first came to Japan, I was super clueless, but I made friends with some of the other exchange students at the dorm, and they were the ones who brought me around everywhere to, like, the supermarkets, to, telling me, like, oh, this is where you go to get this done. There's a bank there. There's a supermarket, bookstore, etc., there. You go here for cheap stuff, there for expensive stuff, blah, blah, blah. And if you have, like, some cultural problems, it's easier to talk to them because they will understand you best.
Right. That's very true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I'm just misreading these things, but a lot of it seems like people. Okay, I want to think how I want to shape this, but basically, people think that if there are two foreigners, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, say for example, there's two foreigners on a subway platform, right? And then all around them, there's just more and more Japanese. Like, the assumption is that automatically you have more of a connection to the foreigner than you have to any of the Japanese, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty problematic because, like, back home in the States, right? I think where in any given area there could be like an Asian, a black guy, a white guy, and like you know what I mean, like all of that. And so that assumption is stupid.
Yeah.
And I think the idea that just because you're two foreigners in Japan and somebody, that means necessarily you want to talk to each other. Like, I mean, you'll still be the creepy stranger person coming up and getting too familiar with somebody, right? It doesn't matter if you're here or in your home country. I think it's kind of the same, and so I think there's a misunderstanding there.
Yeah, that is very true because I have talked to some friends and they've said, like, okay, I'm back.
Yes, look.
So, like, for example, other foreigners.
No.
Was good. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. So they will come up and be like, "Oh, hey, where are you from? Like, hey, you're another foreigner, right? Can you be my friend because I have no friends or something?" And
Right,
it's
right.
weird. And personally, that happened to me and my friend as well. There was this guy. We have no idea what country he's from, but he was obviously a foreigner. And then he came over to us, and he's like, "What country are you from? Hi, where are you from?" And we got so creeped out, and then we're like, it's none of your business. And then we tried to walk away, and he got on the same train as us, and we got even more freaked out. And then he seemed to be staying all the way to the same stop as we were, but thankfully he got off one stop before ours, and we were like, oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, that's super creepy. So like the Gaijin hunter.
Like, I mean, I'm sometimes, maybe they really are just
Bernie.
okay, yeah, maybe they are just pretty lonely and just want someone who understands and can talk to them in English or their native language. But
Yeah.
it's creepy, so don't be creepy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That should be the tagline of the show. Don't be creepy.
Don't be creepy.
Excellent perspective. Let's see what people. Yeah, I don't. Can you see Travis's comment here? His question.
They don't actually explicitly say, like, I have no friends, can you be my friend? It's more like, they're like, oh, I just moved here and I don't know people. Can you introduce me to friends? Blah blah blah.
Right. So it's kind of the subtext,
Yeah,
right?
it's slightly similar, or like I don't like I feel like tend to be at like work, especially if all of you work at like a Kaiwa or
Right.
teach English at a school. Because like the place that I work at, they have like international party things, so you can just come over and then you chat in English and stuff, and then so that's how we become friends as well, and then yeah.
Yeah, I gotcha. Very useful. Yeah, I think. Hmm, I don't know. Perhaps that's all I should say. I'll let you end on a high note of intelligence, for sure. Um, yeah, Travis, man, the don't be creepy thing trips up a lot of people. Don't feel too bad about it.
Mm.
But hey, moving on from that. One of the things when I was asking Lucas actually, Lucas and Roz last night about some of the things that we should talk about, and one of the big things was how you how you stay in touch with people, friends, family,
Mm.
stuff when you're over here, because I think, especially if there's a huge time difference, it can be really difficult.
Mm.
So I guess I'll turn it to you first, and then I'll put in my two
Mm.
yen.
Well, obviously, people use like Facebook and Skype. And Skype is a wonderful, wonderful thing where you can call landlines for really cheap from your computer.
Yeah.
So I use that a lot because, sometimes parents can be a bit technologically challenged, like mine. So, they don't really know how to set up Skype or get online. So I just call my mom on the landline. With friends, I pretty much just stay in touch on Twitter and Facebook. Those are great for instant messaging. Of course, there's Line, WhatsApp, uh, all those other chatting apps out there because
Right.
most everybody has smartphones, so that's really the easiest way.
Have you done any of the? I've talked to some of my friends who I think they were abroad in Germany for a couple of years, so they
Hmm.
were away from whomever, and they had talked about how they did like movie viewing parties with their friends and family. So they would each like pick like the same movie on Netflix or whatever, and they would leave Skype on through the movie so they could make comments, and it was almost like they were in the same room together.
Yeah. What I do something similar, but we don't leave Skype on. But for example, me and my friend, we will watch the same show or the same movie at the same time, and then live message our reactions to it to each other.
Right.
So yeah, I do that for shows like, for example, Game of Thrones,
Oh, nice.
where there are really big reaction scenes and stuff there. So.
Right, right. I gotcha. Okay, well, cool, cool. Yeah, that's something I've been considering doing, so that's why I guess I asked. But um, yeah, I mean, Facebook, as you said, Facebook and Twitter are probably like the best options. But I think it also depends on sort of what sort of monetary investment you want to make or can make
Mm.
in
Mhm.
keeping in touch. Because I mean, obviously there's Skype, and actually that's the way I call my grandma,
Mhm.
assuming she answers her phone, because
Mhm.
if she sees like a Skype phone number, she's like, "Oh, there's somebody trying to call me to steal my money," because that shit happens, of course. Um,
Oh.
but Steam actually has proven to be like probably the one of the like strangely best
Hmm.
connecting tools. Um, this last weekend, actually past couple weeks, I've been playing games with my little brother, who I'm quite close with, for a couple hours at a
Mhm.
time. And the only problem with Steam, of course, is you have to buy games.
Uh,
But if you can find like the free to play ones that don't
hmm.
handicap the whole experience, I think
True.
it's really really good. And
Yeah,
it's
and Steam periodically gives out free games too.
yeah, that's right, that's
I
right.
remember they were giving out L4D2 or something free, and then I got it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think they should do that more often, maybe. But because I think one of the hardest parts is talking is all well and good, but I think there needs to be interaction, right? Otherwise, it just doesn't it
Mm.
just doesn't feel anywhere near as fulfilling.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I think that's why Skype is amazing, and Nintendo, which I'm trying to get my little brother just to like indenture himself to my parents a little bit more, and just in exchange for a Nintendo. But I guess that's probably not gonna happen. But yeah, Lucas, I don't know. I hope that that at least answers your question partially. But oh, actually, one more. Packages. It's probably the most expensive option. Because like a 2 week to ship things on like a 2 week speed for me from here is probably like $40, like for like a small U-Pack, you know, like the smallest box you can get from the post office. But yeah, those are really fun. Like I just even like Posey, who I met through YouTube. I just got a package from her, and that was so cool, you know. And there's a little letter, and letters I think still go a lot further than any other form of communication. But anyway, I'm rambling as I tend to do.
Yeah, no, yeah. I really like, letters and packages definitely have a very personal touch. It's, of course, you know, the most expensive option, but, you know, once in a while it's nice to receive, like, a postcard. Actually, postcards are not too expensive. Postcards are great.
Yeah, no, that's true. And I think, strangely, maybe the best ways to stay in touch are still like the anachronistic ways, I think, right? Like you said, like a postcard or a letter or slow non-electronic means of communication, maybe. But maybe that's just romantic bullshit. I don't know. Possibly. You know what I didn't do, Bernie, at the beginning of the show because I'm a loser? I didn't say hello to everybody in the comments, as is both a polite and tradition.
Well, better late than never. Say hi now.
It's true, but I just want you all to know that I realize I'm a scumbag. So, apologies. So, sorry, go ahead. Oh, you didn't just stop. You got cut off by your devil internet, right? that face, though. That face, Bernie.
So that phrase while saying hi everybody in the comments, I love you. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it didn't let you get that far. I'm sorry. But yeah, now you can say it, right? Nope, there's the joke. There's the wonderful joke. Is that you? Poor Bernie.
Oh man.
But yeah, starting at the top here, we had Posey actually, who started out by being a cheerleader. Bernie. So Posey, I don't know if you're in the comments now, if you just stopped in to show your support. But thank you. Really appreciate it. Dude Jericho, of course. Dude who apparently is a ghost. Lucas, Travis Moore, Sean Bro. Number Hito, of course. Hello. Captain, I'm making an appearance right now. And Jake Knowlton, who we talked about earlier. You know, I will say that, you know, I don't know how many Ginger J vloggers there are, but Jake is among the most attractive Ginger J vloggers.
Oh, I didn't know
he's a handsome devil. Anyway, continuing on. Shannon, hello Shannon. Schnozberries taste like schnozberries. Shanyan. Don't want to miss anybody. Yeah, we're almost caught up. Contensai Masa, hello.
Yeah.
You wonderful human. You really cool, awesome Hamako, you. Hello. And J-Boy, hello. Nice to see you. Okay. And Denise E, hello. Welcome into the comments, Denise. Nice to see you.
Denise is my sort of somewhat partner in crime in Singapore.
Alright, well, fantastic. Welcome to the madness. Welcome to the height of professionalism on YouTube. For sure. Yeah, it's true. People are not taking too kindly, or are not buying into my Ginger J vlogger comment, but hopefully Jake gets more out of it than they are. But yeah, the last topic I guess that I wanted to talk about, and again, this is recommended by Lucas, so Lucas, thank you again. It was like the most extreme cases of culture shock, or maybe not extreme cases, but things here that still, when they happen, you go, why does it have to be that way when they could when it could be X way and be a lot easier type thing.
Uh,
So I don't know if you have something that you would like to lead with, or I can.
I don't know. I guess I would say I feel Japan is so technologically backward for a country that is actually very technologically advanced.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think maybe it was Lisi, I think, who
Hmm.
basically said that they, she and her boyfriend got here and realized that that idea that Japan is the most technologically advanced place is like a lie. Like there's certain
Mm.
areas where it's great, but instead the Japanese instead rely on the most reliable technology and then run it into the ground. I don't know if you agree with that assessment or not, but
Mm. Well, it's kind of also I feel like they like for example, they rely on like human work a lot. Like there's still a lot of people, filing papers, filling out paperwork, getting details, everything by hand.
sure.
So
Yeah.
it takes a lot longer than you feel it should take
Yeah.
in this age of everything being digitalized. So.
Yeah, and I mean there's countless anecdotes of people like turning in their like application for student visas or whatever, and then like the joke of it having to be passed to four people to get like individual stamps, right?
Mm,
Stamps. Like literal ink stamps
yeah.
before it'll go through. Um, yeah, and actually related to like the lack of electronic is the bank account thing. I think still
Mm,
with like a lot of places who online banking is like, especially I guess it's probably more like an Inaka thing now, hopefully, but
mm,
like the smaller banks like US for internet banking,
mm,
or even like a debit card being standard as opposed to
mm,
just a cash card.
mm,
Like that's
mm.
pretty that's pretty
Yeah.
mind-boggling at times, I
Yeah,
think.
like some of the bigger banks do have internet banking, but it's not like a default for every single bank account, I heard. So like only certain bank accounts get this iBanking function. So it's probably still not as common as it should be, I suppose. And yeah, like the whole cash card, debit card thing is actually quite inconvenient because my Singapore ATM card uh, doubles up as a debit card as well as a credit card. So it is frightfully convenient as
Right,
well.
right, but maybe it's a good thing, right?
It is probably a good thing. If not, I would be swiping that card way too much.
Right, right. Well, I mean, that said though, like a lot of services, like the alternative ways you can pay here are pretty incredible. Like how you can pay for whatever through the
Mm.
convenience store, or Jake just got like that freaking giant box of amiibos, and you can
Mm.
from Amazon, you can
Hmm.
just pay your Amazon on delivery, right? Which is just really really cool.
Mm. Or you can just go and buy like the Amazon points, like the gift cards from any of your nearby convenience stores, and you preload credit, and then you just pay for it from that credit. It's super convenient.
Yeah, see, that sounds awesome too. I didn't even know that was a thing. Bernie, Bernie Sama, or whatever. But and I think I don't know. I think the thing is that there's so much built up here around convenience,
Mm.
and some things are like ridiculously convenient, like some of the things we just talked about. But I think and I don't remember who said it recently, but they said it best. Basically, when things aren't convenient here, they're inconvenient in such an incredibly like staggering way. Um,
Mm.
and I think maybe that's like the bank account thing, but
Mhm.
I think getting started over here is incredibly inconvenient. Just like there's like the three layers of like getting your life set up,
Mhm. Mhm.
register yourself, get your bank account, and then finally you can get a phone.
Mm.
So it's just, yeah, I think that that was like one of the biggest shockers for me, I think.
Actually, like I have a question. You know, because I live in Singapore and Singapore is so small, we don't have our individual cities. But in
Yeah.
Japan, when you move from one city to another, you have to go to the city you're registered in and tell them you're moving, and then when you move to the new city, you register there. So is this only a Japan only system, or does it happen in other countries like say US?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't, being that I'm an American citizen, I didn't have to deal with any like the immigration side of things, but I don't think there is that system. Um, Based on just talking to my boss who spent some time in the States and moving around. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know though. I think like J-Boy, for example, he is Japanese living in Montreal, Canada, I believe. So maybe he could speak for Canada.
Mm.
But yeah, the moving around thing is just like,
Yeah. And actually, moving is pretty damn expensive in Japan.
yeah, yeah. I think Rachel and June's recent video made it pretty good. Just on
Yeah.
like the like apartment searching thing, right?
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
I know, Japan is so very infamous for the crazy kimani deposit, whatever, and also like where some places are not happy about having foreigners stay, especially exchange students, because you need like a Japanese guarantor for your apartment. So they're like, oh no, you're a foreigner. What if you rent our apartment and then run away and never pay rent or whatever? There are these type of fears.
Right.
Yeah, so I decided, I wasn't gonna go crazy and drive myself crazy with looking for an apartment. So I just rented an apartment that my school like gets for students. So
Mm. Yeah, yeah, J-Boy just made an interesting comment. Sorry to cut you off there,
no,
but
no, no, no problem.
I was just saying that one of the big things Japanese complain about when they come to the States is the lack of, or not just the States, excuse me, but to
Mm-hmm.
when they go overseas, the lack of public bathrooms.
Mm.
Is that a thing, do you think, in Singapore? Like, do you not have much access to public bathrooms, or?
It's not that we don't have lack of access to public bathrooms. It's more of, are you willing to go to a dirty public bathroom,
Mm, yeah, yeah,
Because most of public bathrooms here are pretty dirty, especially if you compare it to Japanese standards. And like I find most Japanese toilets are free. Like I encountered this problem when I went to Europe. You have to pay like 50 cents euro just to use the bathroom, and that is really expensive.
what?
Yeah, even in like shopping malls. So it's kind of like, let's not go to the bathroom. Let's wait to go home or to
Yeah,
the hotel.
I mean, I guess if it keeps the bathroom in like tip-top shape, right? Like it's maybe an okay thing to have a charge, but yeah, that does seem
Yeah.
what's going on. Um, in in the States, we don't really, yeah, I don't think we really have public bathrooms. Um, like at all, actually, now that I think about it. Maybe like attached to subway systems, and those are always freaking disgusting.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, everything else is like you have to be a customer of X place to use, or
Hmm.
yeah. So I could see that being really terribly annoying, actually. 20 pence to take a pee. Yeah, that's a really freaking annoying.
Hmm.
But I guess it's paying somebody, right? So maybe
Hmm.
it's okay. But yeah, I don't know. I think one of the things that sort of inspired this particular topic is that not too long ago there was like the news about and actually not just this topic but what we talked about before, like the Gaijin community,
Hmm.
is like some of the weirder things that have been happening to foreigners that are now being publicized, like
Hmm.
the foreigners being targeted by foreigners to like at snack bars or whatever, and having like all their money stolen,
Okay.
and then that being like somehow like a culture shock thing, not
Hmm.
realizing that there's that system in place with like snack bars and everything else like that.
Mhm.
Ah, yeah, Japanese convenience stores are fantastic. I don't know. The convenience store thing I think is almost too convenient. Not to completely change the topic again.
They are way too convenient. I mean, I have one like less than about like a minute walk from my apartment,
Right.
and it is so bad because I have
Mm,
like a supermarket, say 10 minutes walk away. But instead of going to the supermarket, I decide to go to the convenience store because hey, it's so much nearer. And you know, convenience stores aren't actually that cheap
it's
if
true.
you actually think about it, because the stuff there can actually be almost like twice the price as in a super.
Right. Well, because you're paying for the convenience, right?
Yeah.
That's the idea. But let's be honest, the egg sandwiches at the convenience store, amazing.
Yeah, like that's why I love Japanese convenience stores so much. I mean, Singapore, I'm pretty sure most parts of the world have their own convenience stores, and Singapore too. We have 7-Eleven as well, and
Right.
other like types of convenience stores, but I don't like Singapore convenience stores because they just don't have the things that Japanese ones do. Like, we have sandwiches, but the sandwiches here are a lot more expensive and they taste horrible.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Or there's like just frozen, super overly processed food, which tastes horrible as well.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I think in in the States, I mean, we have convenience stores, but it's much more popular just to have like truck stops, right?
mm,
Or like rest stop type thing along like all the highways.
mhm, mhm,
And I think there's such a stigma built up around like convenience store food. For example, whenever I have one of those delicious egg sandwiches, I always think about that Futurama episode where Fry eats like a truck stops egg sandwich, and it's
mhm,
actually worm eggs, and they end up like they're sentient worms that end up living in his brain and actually making him better. But I just coming from the States where you hear all these horror stories, none of
mhm,
them are sentient worms, unfortunately.
mhm, mhm.
But I think about that every time I eat one. And it's a really like dissonant experience for me to eat. But
Mm,
yeah,
mm,
and it sucks though because I literally have three that are all like equidistant from my apartment.
mhm,
Two
mhm.
Family Marts and a 7-Eleven. So to have choice in your convenience too, in your extreme convenience, is not good for your wallet or your waistline, I would say. Yeah, Futurama. Yes, I was hoping somebody would know what was going on.
Yes. Yeah, Japanese convenience stores do have toilets, which are amazing, but some of them, depending on which area they are, will not allow you to use the toilet after a certain amount of, like, after a certain time. For example, like, the convenies in Shinsaibashi, they will be like, no, you cannot use our toilets after 8 o'clock at night because they don't want drunk people
I guess that's fair, right? Like belligerent
doing it.
assholes.
Yeah.
Hmm. I
Ooh, sorry.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna talk about drunk people because I was so surprised that Japan, like, you know, how drunk.
Yeah. I
I'm back.
mean,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
How?
Welcome.
Yeah. How drunk, you know.
Boop boop. Bloop bloop rather. I think. I mean. I think part of the issue is that there's like no open container law here, right?
Mm,
So you can.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just drink in public a lot and cannot stop puking. And they puke in public a lot. That's the worst part.
Weren't you telling me about like you're walking behind somebody that had like a bag of vomit that like bust
Yes.
or something?
Yes, it was in the train station. We all just got off the train and we're walking up the platform, and there's this dude with a paper bag in front of him, and then the paper bag breaks and leaves a trail of vomit in his wake. and it was horrible. It smelled disgusting, and it was just don't want to think about it.
That's a nightmare. Oh, the smell. I'm just imagining it.
Yeah, and or like people who are trying to get to the train station and then they vomit all over the stairs leading to the train station. Or they vomit and then pass out next to their own vomit, and you're like, oh my goodness.
See, this is
Not a
one of the
nice
good
sight.
things about being in the Anapa. I just don't see that. I just don't, because everybody bikes or walks everywhere, it seems like here.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you have to deal with that.
Yeah, like the first time I ever went to Japan on holiday, I was in a train with my friend, and this drunk dude came in, and then he fell on us. We were sitting down on the seats, and he fell on top of us on the seats, and then rolled off onto the floor. And then he got up, hugged like the train pole, and was like, "The world is shaking!" And it's like, "No, stupid, you're shaking!" Yeah.
I feel, yeah, you've seen much more interesting things as far as drunk people go than I have. The most I ever see is like the drunken like old guy, the old guy who maybe he's too old, maybe he really shouldn't be drinking.
Mm.
But this is the guy who always gets pissed off because somebody's talking on the phone or something, or somebody's too loud, so he's just like yelling and flailing while he's yelling at them, and just like, why are you talking on the phone? Or these are also the guys who turn slowly towards you, and then they see you're a foreigner, and then they start mumbling something to themselves. And I'm not really ever sure if it's like a good thing or a bad thing or not, but I just don't want them to talk to me for fear that it's going to turn into something.
Actually, didn't Victor post on Twitter, I think,
Yeah.
pretty recently, about some drunk dude who went and took his photo and then was doing weird things on the train?
Yeah, I think it was just yesterday that this happened. The dude was like really creeping on him too.
Very.
Awful. Yeah. The train thing. Man, when I was in Tokyo last, it surprised me, really, really surprised me, getting on the train and just, that's all I smelled in my car. It was just booze, you know? But I mean, I'm not trying to rip on that part of the culture because I take advantage of it, you know, for sure. Like, there's something so nice about being able to leave those crazy crappy training meetings and buy a beer or like a couple, stuff them in my bag and just open them on the Shinkansen whenever I want. Or when I'm walking around waiting for the Shinkansen, you know, like that's awesome. For sure.
True. Yeah, like it's fun to just, just hang out maybe at a park and talk to your friends maybe over like a drink or something. And because like in Singapore they recently passed a ban on drinking in public. So yeah. And I also like heard, in some countries you have to put like your drink in a brown paper bag or something to hide it. And you're not supposed to
Yeah.
be drinking in public or something.
I think that's how it works in some parts of the states. Like I think generally there is a no open container law, but certain parts, like the city I went to college in, they had a, what is it called when it's local? Anyway, they had a local law that pretty much said, yeah, you can do this, but after a certain point in night on Saturdays and Sundays, but it needs to be in a paper bag. Which what is the point? I mean, people know that, like they see the paper bag, right?
And they know you.
Right, and then eventually the paper bag is just equated with booze anyway, so it's completely pointless. But yeah, hooray for public drunkenness. I did violently throw up on several salarymen yesterday at the yakitori shop. Actually, there was chunks of intestine and cheap beer everywhere. Well, there were chunks of cheap.
Sorry, try just bringing the topic back to like the random toilet, like back to toilets because it seems to be pretty popular in the comments. So like I was reading dude's comment about like the worst toilet he found in Japan was when he was in.
Give her a second, chap. She'll be back. There she is.
Okay, sorry. Actually, yeah, I find like most of the time, Japanese toilets are very clean, but sometimes they get kind of dirty because most of the time I've just found it's because tourists have used them.
Ah,
For example, there are just some tourists that, will like just shake their hands onto the floor and get the floor wet, and then when you walk in and out, it just makes it dirty.
right. Make a slurry of, yeah, yeah, I get you. We should have just called the stream Toilet Talk. Bernie, you frozen face.
I'm sorry. One day people will get very amused at all the weird expressions my face gets frozen in.
Yeah, like, if I would like to think that if the channel were a little more popular, we would, of course, the chances of our having somebody who would actually go through and gif your frozen faces, I think that'd be pretty fantastic. The Bernie Low meme.
Yeah, it's like because I accidentally closed the window to look at the comments, so I had to reopen it. And
Yeah.
then when I was pausing the screen, I just so happened to very coincidentally pause the screen on a weird face that I was making. So it's not that difficult.
So you get to enjoy what everybody else gets to enjoy.
Yes,
Yeah, that's good news.
that's part of the experience as well.
I've never had like a bad experience with the toilets, but I don't know that I want to share this story.
Mhm.
It's not a story, but I have started on really cold days. I will literally just go into the bathroom, drop trout, and sit on the toilet to make myself not be so damn freezing in my school.
Uh, because of
Because
the warm seats.
the warm seat is so nice. It's so, so
It,
nice.
it really is.
And I come home to my crappy toilet, which is a double entendre that I didn't mean to make, but yeah. I feel like I'm gonna go home for Christmas, and that's gonna be the worst part is sitting, because New York winter, of course, is, but yeah, using the toilet in New York. And no,
Mm.
rambling about toilets now. I've reached a new high.
Yeah, we're at that that area.
Oh, there's an ellipses in the comments from Dude Jericho. I wonder if it's a good one or a bad one. Okay. Yeah, it's in response to my roasting my buns. I don't think. I mean, you have to understand how cold it is in my school in the mornings, though. It's just freaking.
Mm.
It's ridiculous. It's like an ice box, like Indiana Jones in the refrigerator. You know. That's a terrible reference. I'm sorry, that movie doesn't exist.
Yeah.
One more time, burn it low.
My school is pretty cold too, especially the corridors. So nobody wants to leave the classrooms and heating.
Indeed, Lucas. Yeah, Lucas says he would never sit down on my toilet seat, and I think that's probably a smart move.
Mm.
Actually, that's one of the things here too. I'm sorry, I'm getting way too excited about this, but like, there are dispensers. There are dispensers in public toilets that for toilet coverings,
Mm.
or and not just the coverings. There's also there's hand sanitizer that
Mm.
it ejects that you can then put on the seat to clean them. Like what? What?
Yeah, super Benry everything in Japan.
Yes. Yeah, Nombiri, I'm gonna put that on a T-shirt. Put it on a T-shirt. That'd be our best seller. Unlike a really.
QOTL. And
I'll have to put it on a really unfortunately colored T-shirt too, like vomit green or poo
no,
brown.
the T-shirt should be brown, and then the words are white or something.
Yeah. I like it. Yeah, it'd be Domokun inspired, who I hate, by the way. I hate Domokun.
Oh, I think Domokun was okay, kind of cute.
He just had this thing with Domokun where everywhere I went, he would show up. Maybe I have a brain problem, which is actually at the the root of this, but ass gasket. What is an ass gasket? I don't know why I'm asking. You can tell we're near the end of the stream. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, and you probably don't want to Google that either.
Yeah, no. Just because, oh god, I feel like that has to be some kind of like saying pulled straight from 4chan or something, where something really terrible, some form of terrible imagery is tied to it. Good lord. Well, right then, Bernie. Are there any other things that aren't toilets? I guess, or banks, or any of the aforementioned.
Er, er,
How about food?
food. I don't know. I didn't really find anything like weird about food because Chinese food has this reputation of eating pretty weird stuff as well.
Yeah,
So,
true.
so yeah, for me, the food is pretty normal. So. hmm. Like,
So go ahead.
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. No. I was just gonna say, how everybody keeps asking. It's a very common question to foreigners. Can you eat raw food?
Right.
So for me, it's like, yeah, no problem, because it's very normal in Chinese culture. We have raw fish and stuff too. So.
Yeah, I think that was one of the big things for me to get used to. Like when we were at whatever place that was we ate in Kyoto, and most of that seafood was either served just very, very lightly cooked or raw. But also not just the rawness, but how much of the animal is eaten, which I really, really like the idea, like philosophically. But getting used to eating things like intestine and heart and blah 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 that was really unusual for me to start out. But actually, those things have proven to be some of the most delicious.
Yes. And to anyone watching, if you go to like a yakitori or whatever place, chicken hearts are actually really good. Hato tare. It's so good.
Definitely have to look for that. I'm a big fan of pork heart. Really, really like that. And beef tongue. Those are my favorite. Yeah. And actually, my friend who I go to yakitori with maybe once a week now, he really turned me on to intestine, and I hated it the first time I had it, just because like the conception. But he was telling me, he's like, he said, rumor has it that white people don't age well, and you're almost 30, and there's a lot of collagen, as he said, collagen in intestines, so you should eat a lot of it. Which, I mean, it's true enough, I think. White people do not age as well as Asians, I think. But anyway, that's a topic for a different show. But it's so delicious, so delicious. And yeah, I mean, Lucas, that's definitely like the best part about like a lot of the food culture here is that so little of it is wasted. Although there doesn't seem to be like a very big like blood food culture over here. Like, Germany and Poland, for example, who use it in blood sausage and everything else. Oh, I guess Lucas is saying that they use the blood in the Philippines, which I mean. Oh, scheisse. I hit a wrong button.
Yeah, it's banned in Singapore for hygiene purposes, but I think a very popular like Chinese dish is they use like the cubes of like blood, and then they put it in soup or porridge or something. I think you can probably find it in, I guess, Taiwan and China or something. I tried it once and it was really good, surprisingly.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just laughing at Posey's comment about your thinking noises. Yeah, I think Anthony Bourdain has said as much, like on his travels through a lot of like Southeast Asia, a lot of those places that it's just raw blood that is added at the last second to give flavor or whatever. if you don't think about it and you don't worry about what might be floating around the raw blood, then it'd be one of the best experiences of your life, supposedly.
Mm.
So, and in Anthony Bourdain, I trust. I'm a bit of a fanboy, I have to say.
Mm.
Yeah, black pudding. That's what I'm saying. All right, Bernie. I think
Mhm.
that I would like to go ahead and start winding down. So if there's anything you'd like to say or plug or whatever, I don't know why I'm punching the screen, but anyway, that's what's happening. And please do so.
Punch, punch. Okay.
It's an excited punch. It's not like an abusive punch. But okay then. All right. Well, Bernie has no parting words for you all. She's in awe of the awesomeness of the comments, including grilled blood cubes.
Yes, those
But,
sound very interesting.
Yeah, I'd try them.
Mm.
Probably a bit ferric, I would imagine. But anyway, thank you guys as always for tuning in. Really always fun to see your guys' comments. They always go to some strange places, of course.
Strange part of the internet.
Yes. But more importantly, equally as important is, of course, my awesome guest, Bernie. Bernie, thank you as always for coming on. You're like an awesome guest.
Oh.
You're always fun to have. So, yeah, guys, if you don't check out Bernie's channel for whatever reason, please do so. I will add a link in the description, which I should have done earlier, but I'm just a terrible human being. So, yeah, guys, thanks for joining in. I will probably, if somebody else doesn't start the after show, I'll open up the hangout and I'll get an after show going. So I hope to see some, if not all of you there. So,
yes, hope to see you there as well.
Good
and
night,
thank
guys.
You. Yes, thank you very much, and good night.
Good night, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.